Hello friends, welcome back. My name is PK. In this video, you will learn how to create a visitor logbook in Microsoft Excel using VBA form. You can use this in your office if you want to capture the entry of visitors, then you can use this form. So let me show this. We have this index page and here you can click on visitor entry form. As I will click here, it will show this form. In this form, you can enter the information of new visitor or you can update out time for existing visitor. You can see the records here. Now quickly I will explain you how can you use this. So let's say a new visitor is coming in your office. So I'm just putting a new visitor name. Let's say it is Lucy. Then I'm putting the mobile number. So I'm just putting some dummy mobile number. Okay, then meeting with, so you can put here the name of meeting with, let's say Prince, and the purpose of the meeting, it can be a business meeting or it can be an interview or it can be any other. So let's say I'm putting here interview. Alright, then visitor address. So here you can put the address of the visitor. So let's say I'm putting here New Delhi. Alright, then just press tab and you can hit the enter. It is saying done. So the entry has been done. When I will click on OK, you can see that new entry here on the top. It always will be on the top so that you can easily find out. Here you can see the in time is coming automatically. Whatever the today's date and the in time, that will reflect here. So you can update the out time also whenever this visitor will go out. To update the out time, you just need to select that particular record. Let's say I have selected this record and just click on update out time. As I will click here, the out time will be updated. So here you can see the out time is reflecting for the Lucy and the stay time just 42 seconds. Alright, so this will come automatically. If you want to edit the information for any person, if you think that you have entered the wrong information for any person, you can simply double click. Let's say for Lucy, by mistake I have updated wrong mobile number, so I want to make it correct. We submit this. Now click on OK. So here you can see the new mobile number is coming. Alright, so you can update the record. If you want to delete any record, you can simply select and click on delete selected record. So whatever record you will select, you can delete from here. You can use the filter option also. Once you will start using this tool, then you might have a long list here. Although the latest records will show on the top, but still you can use the filter option. You can use the filter by date, visitor name, mobile number, meeting with, purpose and address. As I will select the date, automatically it will put today's date here, and if you will click on refresh, it will show all the record for today. You can change this filter. So let's say I want to put here 11th October. If I will refresh, the record will be reflect for the 11th October. If you want to remove this equal to sign and you want to put only 10th October 21, click on refresh, still it will return the record. You can use the greater than or less than sign also. For example, I want to see all the record after 10th of October or after 9th of October. So I'm just putting here 9th October and I'm putting this greater than sign and I will click on refresh. Now it is giving me this one record. If I will put here, let's say after 8th October, then if I click refresh, still it is giving me this. I can put here equal to or greater than also, greater than then equal to and refresh. So it is showing the record for 8th and 10th, which is greater than equal to 8th of October. So let's delete this. Now I'll quickly show you how can you search by the visitor name. I want to search, let's say for Jack. If I will type the visitor name as Jack, it will show the record only for Jack. Even if I will type here J and click on refresh, so it is showing me the visitor wherein the J is available in the name of the visitor. Alright. Now similarly you can do it by mobile number. You can type the complete mobile number or you can type, let's say, only 1, 2, 3. So it will show the record wherein 1, 2, 3 is available. Similarly, for the meeting with also, you can type the complete name or the first name, last name. Accordingly, it can search. Similarly with the purpose, let's say I want to see how many interviews happened, so you can search for the interviews also, you can search for the address also. So this is for the search functionality. Now let me close this form. I'll show you the data. So this is the data sheet wherein data is being captured. When you will enter any information in the form, the data will be stored here. You have to save this file once you have entered some information. Now click on go back and I'll show you the reports. Whatever you have entered, it will capture the report in the year, month and date. So it has the date wise record, how many visitor was there and what was the stay time. You can see the further detail also using this plus button. So just click on this. So the purpose was the interview, and if you have the multiple purpose, it will show that. Then meeting with William. Visitor name was Jack. Alright. So this information is available here. Now I will explain you how I have created this in Microsoft Excel using the BPA form. So let's start without delay. So I'm just going to Visual Basic, and here I have added this form. I will show you from the scratch how can you design this form. Then I will show you the code which I have used. So let me go to the insert and let's insert a new user form. So this is the new user form. Just right click, go to the property. You can change the special effect of the user form from here. So this is the special effect. You can take any special effect from here. Let's say I'm taking this one. If you want to take the background color of the user form, you can take that also. So let's take the back color. I have taken white color. Alright. Then I have added an image here to make the title. So let's create an image here. From here, right click, go to the property of the image, and then you can change the back color. So let's take any back color from here. So I have taken this one. You can take any color. Then I have added a label. So drag the label. Here you can put the title. So I have put, let's say, visitor logbook, and just right click on the label, go to the properties. First align this center, then you can change the font, make it slightly bigger, let's say 22 or 24. You can take your favorite font, whatever you want to take. I have taken here Arial Rounded MP Bold. Click on OK, and the font color I have taken, this 4 color I have taken white, and make this style as transparent. Just close this, and now you can move this. Then select this label, go to the format and go to the center in form horizontally. So it will be in the center. So this is our title. Now quickly we will create the label. So let's say first I'm putting for the visitor name. Then you can take a text box from here and just drag this text box here. Just right click, go to the properties. Again you can change the special effect. So let's say I'm taking this one, or you can take any other also. So this is for the visitor name. You can make the copy and paste, and you can keep this here. Then the next we can see in the data sheet. So this is our data sheet. Next is the mobile number. So let's take. Alright, similarly we can make the copy of this, paste here. So I'll quickly create the other text boxes also. Okay, so we have created for address also, and we have made it slightly bigger. And now we will enable the multi-line in this text box. So right click, go to the properties and just go to the multi-line property of the text box, and it is false. You can make it true. When you will type, it will reflect in multiple lines. Okay, if the text is long. Alright, now we will add the command button. So go to the command button and just add the command button here. So this will be our submit. Just copy and paste. The another one we can keep for reset. Alright, now we will add another label. So we can copy from here and we can keep this here. This will be for filter Y. Then we will add a combo box. Let's take this combo box. Just drag this combo box here. We will take the name of the field. So right click, go to the properties, and then you can change the special effect first. Double click, let's take this one. The style, let's take list, and list rows we will take, let's say 20. Let's close this. Alright, now we will add a text box for this, so just keep this text box here. This will be for the search. Now we can copy a command button and we will keep here for the refresh. This will be for refresh. Now make a copy of this command button and just put this here, and this will be update out time. Make a copy of this and keep this here, and this will be for delete selected record. This is for the delete selected. You can right click, go to the properties, and you can change the back color for the delete. Now go to the toolbox and take a list box from this one and just drag that list box here. Right click, go to the properties, and you can change the special effect for the list box also. Double click here. So let's take this special effect. If you want to change the back color, you can take that also. So I have taken this gray color. Alright, so our form is ready. Now we have to add a hidden text box to capture the ID. So just copy any text box and put this here, and we can rename this as, right click, go to the properties. So let's take here txt underscore ID. You can rename the other text boxes also, but for now I'm just renaming this one. If I will run, then it will look like this. For this ID text box, we will make it hidden. So right click, go to the properties, and then go to the visible, this one, and double click, make it visible equal to false. Alright, if I will run, it will not be visible. Okay, now we will start our coding part. So let's save this. Now what I will do, I'll go to existing user form and show you the code. So just double click here, and this code is for the user form underscore activate. So just copy this till here, and then go to the user form 1, double click, and let's select here activate. I'll explain you this code. This is for the combo box 1. We have a combo box, this one. So we are adding the list in combo box. So first we are adding all, then date, visitor name, mobile number, meeting with, purpose, and address. Default value we are putting all. If I will run, here you can see it is showing default value all and the other list also. Alright, now let's go to the visitor form again. I'll show you this sub procedure which I have created. Show data in list box. Let's copy this till here, and let's come to the user form 1, double click, and we can paste this here. And first time when the user form will be activated, we will call this here. Alright, now I will explain you how it is working. So we have taken two variables, dim_sh as worksheet and dim_dsh as data underscore display worksheet. So I'll show you worksheet structure here. So first let me show you the sheets, all hidden sheets. So I'm using the pkg utility tool. You can go to the pkg utility tool. This utility tool is absolutely free and you can download from my website, and you can improve your Excel productivity. I have given a lot of feature of the productivity here. Okay, so you can visit my website and you can download it from there. So here in the pkg utility sheet we have a worksheet manager, and you can simply click on this button, show hide sheet tab. As I will click, all the sheet tabs will be visible, and you can unhide all the worksheets. So we have one hidden sheet. Right click, unhide, you can see the data display is there, or you can click on unhide all worksheet. So we have hidden worksheet which is data underscore display, and we are showing the data on the list box from here. Let's go to the Visual Basic Developer tab, Visual Basic. So this is DSH is our data underscore display. Now what we are doing, first we are copying the data from the data sheet to data underscore display sheet, and then we are displaying the data into list box from here. So why we are copying the data here? Because we are using the filter by option. So sometime we want to show the filtered data. To show the filtered data, what we are doing, first we are putting the filter here as per the logic, then we are copying that data and we are putting this here. Alright. When it is copying the data, first what it is doing, dsh.cells.clear. That means we are making this data underscore display sheet, and then if any filter is available on the data sheet, then we will remove that. So we are using sh.autofilter mode equal to false. And now we are checking if combo box 1 dot value, that is filter by combo box, if that value is not equal to all, that means you want to put some filter. So how will you put the filter? We are checking if combo box 1 dot value date. So if you are putting date, then the logic of the filter will be different, because you can use greater than this date or less than this date or equal to this date. But for the text, the filter logic will be different. So we are checking if it is date, then we are using this code. So what is this code? We are using if me.textbox6. So textbox6 is the search box. Let me show you. This is textbox6. This is for the search box. So here whatever text you are putting, if in this text box whatever you are putting, the left first character is equal to, that means you are putting equal to 10th of October or equal to 11th of October, any date, and you are putting equal to, or you are using the first character as greater than or less than, then it will simply use ss.usedRange.autofilter. It will put the filter in the range available on that worksheet. Then we will put the filter on particular column. And how we will get the address of that particular column? So we want to get the number of the column. For example, if we want to put the filter on visitor name, then we have to use the 3 there. If we have to put the filter on the date, then we have to use 2 there. Alright. So we have to get the number of that particular column wherein we want to use the filter. So what we are doing, we are using the match function there. Application.worksheetfunction.match. Then we are using field name, which is me.combobox1.value, comma. We are giving the range of this entire row, comma 0. So it will return the position of that particular column. And then the search criteria, we are putting whatever you have entered in the search box. Alright. If you are not using any equal to, greater than or less than sign, and you are just putting the simple date, then it will use the same code. The only difference in the criteria, it will add equal to. Alright. Now, if it is not date, if it is a text, then it will use this asterisk sign before the search criteria and after search criteria. That means it will be a contents rather than the simple search. Alright, like we do in Excel. So once data is filtered, then it will copy that range to the data display sheet, which is DSH. Once data is available on the data display sheet, then first it will remove the filter from the data sheet, and then here we are taking a variable for the last row, and we are using the application.worksheetfunction.countA on the data display sheet. So let me show you. If I want to get the last row, I will take simply count of this particular column. So I'll get 3. So that means 3 is my last row. Alright, same thing I'm doing here. Then what I'm saying, if last row is 1, that means there is no data, then I will use LR equal to 2. So I'll consider this second row, because I cannot consider header as a last row. Okay. With me.listbox1, and we are using dot column heads equal to true. So because we have the headers in the column, then column count equal to 10. So I'll show you that. Let's select this. Here you can see the count is 10. Then column width. So initial column width we are giving here. Let's say for the ID, I don't want to show the ID, but I want to keep it in the list box. So what I have given here, the width as 0 for the first column. Then for the date I have given 60. Then for the name I have given 100. And for rest other I have put the default, so I have not given any number. But if you want, you can give the number here. Alright, then I am using row source, and row source I am using data underscore display, and then A2, because we will not take the header. So I'll take data from here, A2 till column J, and then I'm using whatever is the last. Alright friends, In the last, what I'm doing, the data should be reflect in the sorted order. So I'm sorting it from the column H in the descending order. So you can see column H is the in time. Whoever come in the last should be reflect on the top. Alright, so that's why I'm using the descending order. So this was show data in the list box. Now quickly I'll show you how it will work. If I will run this, then here you can see data is reflecting. Alright friends. Now quickly I'll show you the code for the other buttons also. So let's take the code for submit button. So let's copy this code and come to your user form 1 and double click on the button and paste that code. Now I will explain this code. So the first is make sure text box 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 should not be blank. You have to enter the complete detail. You cannot keep mobile number, name, address, purpose, meeting with any one of the as blank. If any text box is blank, then it will return this message which is please enter the complete details and then exits up. Alright. Once it is satisfied with the validation, we have entered all the information, then it is taking the variable dim sh as worksheet and we are using the sh for datasheet. We have to add the data in datasheet. Friends, we are using this button for adding the new records or updating the existing record for both. How we will get to know whether we want to update this record or we want to add this record. So we have taken a ID text box here. If some ID is available in this text box, that means we have to update that record. Or if it is blank, that means we have to insert that particular record. First, we are checking what is the maximum ID available in our worksheet. So we are using application.worksheet function.max and from the column A, we are taking the max ID. Now we are checking if this text box ID, this one, if it is blank, if this text box is blank, that means we want to insert a record. And if we want to insert a record, we have to get the row number also, at which row we want to insert a record. So we are using the count, so to get the last row, so it will return last row. Let's say we have 3 records, so it will return 4 because it will count header also. Then we are using +1. That means we have to add the record on row number 5. Alright. And then we on the column A, which is for the ID, it will put the value as max ID +1. Then on the column H, which is in time, we are putting value as now, means system date. So let me show you parallelly. So in time we are putting here now, so it will show date and time. And here on the column A, it will return the ID. And then on the column B, it will put the date, current date. Alright. So this is in the insert part. And if we are updating, then the row number will be, we are using the match function, and whatever is the text ID, we will use the match function for that text ID. Alright, so that it will return the respective row. And now we are updating the value on the C, D, E, F, text box 1, text box 2, text box 3 and text box 4 and 5. And once the data is updated, then we are making all the text boxes as blank. And we are putting the message as done. Then we are showing the information in the list box. Let me quickly show you that. Let's say I'm putting some information here. Okay, so let me submit this. As I will submit, you can see it is reflecting here. Alright. Now, if I want to update the out time, I'm not able to do that. I'll show you how it will work. So let's go to the visitor form and double click on the update out time. And let's copy this code. Go to the user form and double click here and paste this code here. Now I will explain you how it will work. First, we are taking a variable row number as long. So we want to get the at which row we want to update the out time. Then we are using the sh as data worksheet. And then we are using if me.listbox1.listindex is greater than or equal to 0. That means you have selected any record on the list box. Then only this code should run. Otherwise, it will return this message. Out time is already updated. Now, here we are taking the row number equal to application.worksheet function.match and we are using me.listbox1.list. And here we are using the me.listbox1.listindex comma 0, which means the first column, and we are using the column number first. We are matching this ID of the selected record on the list box with the data sheet in the column 1. So we are searching that, and then we will get the row number at which row we want to update. Alright, then here what we are doing, if I and row number dot value equal to blank. So let me show you what we are saying. If this I column for that particular row it is blank, then only it will update this information. If the value is already there on the I column, which means you have already updated the out time, then it will not update this, and it will show this message out time is already updated. Okay, otherwise it will update the out time, and it will update this stay time also, which will be out time minus in time. Alright, then it will show the information in the list box. Let me quickly show you. So here you can see in the selected record the out time is already there. If I will click update out time, it is showing out time is already updated. If I will select this record wherein out time is not updated, if I will click on update out time, then here you can see out time is updated and the stay time is also updated. Alright friends. Friends, now I'll quickly show you the reset button code and the delete select. In the reset button, the code is pretty much simple. It is just making the value of all text boxes as blank. For the text box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the txt id text box also. So we can paste this here. If I will run, if I will type any value here, here or here, if I will reset, that will be blank. That's it. Now quickly I'll show you for the delete selected also. Double click. Let's copy this code. Go to the user form 1 and then delete selected and paste this code here. Now this similar code you can see which we have used to update out time. The only difference is here in this particular row, once we have the row number, we are using dot entire row dot delete. Okay, then it will show the updated list box. So let me run this. Let's say I want to delete this record. I will simply click delete selected record. Okay, that record will be deleted. Alright, now here if you will select date, today's date by default should be reflected so that user will come to know what should be the format of the date to filter this. So what I have done here, in the change event of this combo box, I have put this simple one-liner. Let me show you and explain you. So just double click and paste this here, and we are putting here if the value of this combo box is date, then it will show the search box value as today's date. So let me show you. If I will select here date, it will show the today's date. I can simply put here, let's say less than 10 and refresh. So you can see refresh button is not working. We have not put any code on the refresh button. It will be simple call, and we will call this show list box, show data in list box, and run this. Let's select here date. I will refresh. It will show the record for 10th of October. I want to show all records wherein date is less than 10th of October. So here you can see. Alright friends. So friends, that's how we have created this user form. Now quickly I'll show you the report part also. Report is simple pivot table wherein we have made the dynamic range. So I'll quickly show you. So let's say we have this data and we have used the simple pivot table. Go to the insert and let's use a pivot table on the new worksheet. So this is sheet 1. We have simply added all information. First we have taken date, and for the date we have make it group. So right click and go to the group, and in the group we have taken year, then month and days. Click on OK. So here you can see we have year, month and days, and we have taken here some other information. In the values we have taken count of visitor name, or you can say simply count. So right click and make this as count. Okay, so it will show the count or number of visitor or whatever you want to put, and you can take the sum of stay time also. So let's take it sum of stay time. So here I have taken sum, and then I have taken here time format from the English United States, and I have taken this one. Alright, and then you can add more information. Let's say purpose of the meeting, or meeting with, or the visitor name also. Let's say. Alright. If you want to make it in the tabular view, this is the compact view. So if you can simply select the pivot table, then you can go to the design and report layout and make it tabular. So it will be more visible. Alright. You can take any format from here. Let's say I've taken this one. To make the range dynamic range, so what I have done, I have created a name. So let me show you. Go to the formulas and then go to the name manager, and I have created this pivot range. Here in the pivot range, I have used the offset function. Offset, then from the datasheet range A1, put the 3 commas, then count A for the row count. So I have used column A to A, then count A for the row 1 to 1. So it will return number of column and number of row. So here you can see it is taking the dynamic range. So once we have created the name, then what we can do, we can go to the pivot table and then we can go to the pivot table analyze, and from here we can go to the change data source. In the data source you can put the your name which you have created, or you can simply press F3. It will show the paste name window and you can select the name and click on OK. So now it is connected with the dynamic range. So whatever data will be available in the data sheet, it always will reflect here. Alright friends. So friends, that is how we have created this visitor logbook. You can use at the reception of your office so that you can capture the entry in time, out time for all visitors in your office. I hope you have enjoyed this video friends. If you like this video, please hit the like button and please subscribe my channel to get the regular update of my videos. Thank you so much for watching.